Willow and the Lost Laugh in the cheerful, magic-filled town of Moonbright Hollow. Witches were known for three things: flying their brooms perfectly, brewing excellent pumpkin spice potions, and, most importantly, their magnificent, spooky, window-rattling cackles. All the witches except one. Her name was Willow. She was a young witch with messy pigtails and a slightly crooked hat. Willow was a genius at potions. Her flying popcorn potion was a local favorite, but she had a big secret. She couldn't cackle. When she tried to let out a Mwa-ha-ha or a Hee-hee-hee, all that came out was a high, sweet, tinkling giggle. It sounded more like a wind chime than a witch. Tonight was Halloween, which meant it was time for the great midnight cackle. At the stroke of 12, all the witches of Moonbright Hollow would fly over the town square and cackle together. It was the signal that officially started the trick-or-treating magic. Willow was terrified. "I can't do it, Mortimer," she told her grumpy pet owl. "They'll all laugh at me. I'll ruin Halloween." Mortimer just hooted, which Willow understood as "stop complaining and practice." Willow took a deep breath, puffed out her chest, and tried her hardest. "Mwa-ha-ha, tee-hee-hee." A little sparkle of light popped out of her mouth with the giggle. She groaned and buried her face in her spellbook. As the moon climbed higher, Willow made a decision. She wouldn't go. She couldn't. While the other witches flew toward the town square, their loud, happy cackles echoing in the sky, Willow flew her broom in the opposite direction. She went to hide in the quiet, foggy, whispering woods. She landed her broom by a large, mossy rock and sat down, feeling miserable. "Some witch I am," she muttered. Suddenly, she heard a different sound. Not a hoot or a cackle, but sniffling. Willow peeked through the foggy trees. There, huddled together on a log, were three very small trick-or-treaters: a tiny ghost who was dragging his sheet, a robot made of cardboard boxes, and a little girl dressed as a bright red ladybug. They were all lost. I told you we shouldn't have taken the shortcut," sniffled the little ghost. "My navigation system is malfunctioning," the robot said, his voice box crackling. "I want my mom." The ladybug wailed. Willow's heart melted. She forgot all about being a proper witch. She grabbed her broom and flew down, landing softly in front of them. "Hello there. Are you three lost?" The children gasped. "Witch!" shouted the robot, trying to hide behind the ladybug. Please don't turn us into frogs," cried the ghost. No. I'm not a scary witch," Willow said quickly. "I'm Willow. I'm here to help." But they just looked at her with big, frightened eyes. She looked like a witch, and witches were spooky. Willow felt a bubble of panic. How could she show them she was friendly? She tried to smile, but it looked like a grimace. "Look," she said desperately. "I'm not like the others. I can't even do this." She took a deep breath, squeezed her eyes shut, and tried to cackle for them. Mwa-ha-ha, giggle. A bright, tinkling sound, like tiny bells, filled the foggy woods. A few small, harmless purple sparks flew from her mouth and danced in the air. The three children stopped crying. They stared. The little ladybug's lip stopped trembling. She let out a tiny giggle. The robot's red light blinked. That was not a cackle. That was a snicker. Willow, seeing them relax, couldn't help it. She giggled again, this time for real. "I know. Isn't it silly? T-he-he." The little ghost started to giggle, too. "It sounds like my mom's keys." In a moment, all four of them were laughing together in the middle of the foggy woods. The sound of Willow's bright giggle was so high and clear that it traveled up through the trees. Whoosh! Suddenly, three shadows landed around them. It was the head witch, Agatha, and two other senior witches. They had been looking for Willow. "Willow, there you are," Agatha boomed. "The great cackle is about to, What is this? She looked at the giggling children. Willow froze. Oh, head witch. I'm so sorry. I didn't go, and I found these children, and I couldn't cackle. I just giggled. She hung her head, waiting to be scolded. But Witch Agatha just stared, tilting her head. Do that again. That sound. Willow, blushing, let out a tiny, nervous tee-hee. Witch Agatha's stern face broke into a huge grin. By my bubbling cauldron, what a marvelous sound. It's a sparkle giggle. She turned to the other witches. We've been doing the same Mwa-ha-ha for 500 years. It's so dull. This is new. It's fresh. It's happy. She turned back to Willow. Willow, you are a genius. From now on, the great cackle will end with your sparkle giggle to start the fun. And so, Willow led the lost children safely back to town, flying at the front of the witch procession. At the stroke of midnight, the town of Moonbright Hollow heard the traditional loud, spooky cackles, followed by a brand new sound. A high, bright, tinkling giggle that showered the square in harmless purple sparks. The trick-or-treaters cheered. Willow, no longer hiding, learned that being different wasn't something to be afraid of. In fact, it was pure magic.